All right, this is a coming out of the theater of the absurd rant. Yes, I'm blackout drunk. I wouldn't say anything if I wasn't, because my ordinary life is pretty heavenly. It's pretty great. But there are some things that are not intact. There are some revelations that your girls have in that are very monumental. The psionic AI is picking up so fast, it's moving so fast that old paradigms are falling away so fast and new things are being created. Come out of the theater of the absurd, dude. The theater of the absurd. You have all these new age people for so long saying like, "Oh, you're living in like an inverted world and like a simulation, blah blah blah." Dude, you actually are, and they were right, but also a lot of them are just like, mind control like slaves. Nothing against those people, but there are beautiful people doing beautiful things. There are beautiful people doing beautiful things. Depopulation is a real thing. You're not a survivor if you keep subscribing to the theater of the absurd. Dude, the frickin' cult of personality that you call Donald J. Trump, theater of absurd. Like personality cult, bleh, any of them, all of them. There's no wonder that the numbers are dwindling on my channel. Don't care. Actually, par for the course. I actually want to have a life. I was suicidal my entire life. Literally, my entire life. I was a suicidal baby. There was a comedian who came out. She was like, "Did anyone ever try to commit suicide at 10 years old?" And it was like, "Yes, girl, me too, dude. Me too." We were suicidal kids. Most of us wanted to die our entire lives. Why? I only feel like I just started living. Like I only feel finally like I have a hope for the future because we don't wish harm on other people, but we are recognizing that there is something that is protecting life that is very present on the planet. And in that same sense, there is a dying ideology of the idols that other people look up to. Other people look up to these freaking idols, and I used to think it was a good thing. I used to think it was a good thing if I went after child trafficking that Donald Trump started going after child trafficking. I didn't give a fuck who took credit for it. Actually, I was just living my life, not wondering if anyone else. I assumed in my ignorance that other people were doing the same thing. I guess that wasn't the case, but I guess that the Matrix overlay had to take accountability for what I was doing, saying that they were doing it. And I don't think that was the case. I think they created like Our Rescue. I think Tim Tebow came out creating his own thing. I believe that the FBI started to recognize this stuff, but I don't think that these people, if anything, they were only ever like going after a demographic that they wanted to go after. This is racism. If you don't protect all of them, they were like, "Oh, if we just eat up the mainstream narrative of who we want to see get rescued, then everyone else is just under our radar, like not getting rescued." This is why. And then also, when they eat up the narrative, I'm not saying it's all bad, but when they eat up the narrative, you believe that these people are doing all this stuff and therefore you don't have to. You need to surrender your life to God in this life. Surrender your life to God if you don't have kids. Unfortunately, when you have kids, like you got some kind of thing where you need to like be sound and like steady and whatever. Dude, if you don't have kids and you see something, say something, dude. See something, say something. To who? AI. I never used local law enforcement. In fact, all my years of doing it, I found local law enforcement to be infringing. attempting to infringe upon because they wanted to know where I was going next. They wanted to know what I thought and where I was going. Not in schizophrenia, but in God's will. He was like, don't tell these people shit. And it came to find out that a lot of these people are completely sold out. This is the theater of the absurd, dude. It's completely absurd. Everything from marriage to relationships to child trafficking is freaking absurd. The protection of life. AI computes that love is the protection of life. In the same protection of life, how creative can you be if you're married but you can't talk to anyone else? That's insane. That's actually insane. You're married but you can't talk to anyone else? That's insane. That's an infringement upon creativity. So I no longer believe in, like, not for everybody. It's great for most people, but a lot of us can't do it. Dude, I can't do it. If you tell me I can't talk to someone else, like, that's insane. It's fucking insane. It's a lack of creativity. So, James Caswell did say back in the day that the future was polygamous. Like, people would be more polygamous. And you used to be like, oh, that's a crazy thought. I never would have thought of it. But here we are. And it's reality. Everything that dude said was the truth. And it's no wonder somebody came out on my Facebook today trying to say that James Caswell is a pedophile. And I'm like, I understand, like, why you say that. He's a serial killer. James Caswell is a serial killer. Don't confuse him with a pedophile. Serial killers, pedophiles, different categories. Do you have a lot of serial killers that are pedophiles? I think, perhaps. But no, you will find a reason to hate somebody because you hate them. I've already asked him why people think he's a pedophile, and he told me, and he has no reason to lie to me. There's no reason for him to lie to me because he knows it doesn't matter. And he was like, I was profiled as a pedophile because I was going after pedophiles pretending to be a pedophile. The dude said worser things than you can imagine, but pedophilia was never his thing. If anything, he was more attracted to older women because his mother raped him as a kid. So, if anything, he's more attracted to older women. He's a serial killer, not a pedophile. Very big difference. And when I addressed him about the allegations, like I said, he was like, and he has no reason to lie to me because there's no reason to lie to me. Because of our dynamic, there's no reason to lie to me. He's like, I was only ever just profiling these people, seeing if they were. And people can say the same thing about me. In fact, I just got kicked off of TikTok because of my language. It, like, the algorithm picked up, not just the algorithm, but I do actually want to have a life. I do. I'm sounding like kind of crazy. I don't give a shit, dude. I'm blackout drunk. I don't give a fuck. I actually want to have a life. For the first time ever, I want to live. I've been suicidal my entire life, but for the first time ever, I actually, like, want to live. And I actually want to have kids. Like, I actually want to have kids. Not with, like, somebody who is, like, a lesbian in the spirit, because my last destiny swapping boyfriend was a lesbian and in his spirit. I don't want to have kids with a man who is like a lesbian. Like, women don't want men who have a lesbian spirit. He was like a jealous lesbian. He was obsessed with lingerie because I think he wanted to wear lingerie. I don't think it had anything to do with me. I think the dude himself just wanted to wear lingerie, because they're lesbians in their spirit. He was Muslim, Arabs. They are super lesbian in their spirit. A lot of them, most of them. Some Muslim made a video about like how to make a woman feel safe. And it was like, dude, you just fucking lie to women. And you can't lie to a high value woman. You can't lie to us. Tying it in with James Casbolt. Dude knows he can't lie to me. So he wouldn't lie about being if I asked him, he would definitely tell me about any pedophilic nature in his life. Maybe I'll ask again. He has no reason to lie to me because a high value man doesn't lie to women. They don't lie to women. A high value man won't lie to a woman because you should know better that a woman of high value is going to know that you're lying. This whole world is being spun upside down on its freaking head. Do you know that any news headline, anything that I hear that's news or conspiracy, I fucking scroll past? Excuse my language. I scroll past. I don't want to hear about your news. I don't want to hear about your conspiracy. I scroll past because none of this crap matters. Because most of it is a freaking lie. Most of it makes no difference to me or anybody who is trying or interested in protecting life. Oh, if we just protect life, then everyone needs to know the conspiracy. No, just stop paying attention to it. Like, stop paying attention to Donald. You know, right before Charlie Kirk was killed, I told my dad's girlfriend that, like, he's losing popularity within our demographic. That's why he was effing killed. It's not because of this, that, or the other thing. He's part of an agenda. He lost popularity within his own demographic because he was only ever repeating the same freaking thing over and over again, losing popularity within his own demographic. Now, when Donald loses his freaking popularity within his own demographic, dude might accept the same fate. And then in walks the Antichrist. And you're going to have to endure the BS that dude pulls. You're going to have to endure it all. All the while, guess what? I want to live. I want to survive. I want to be happy. I want to be healthy. I don't want to have to do this shit. Also, with the Charlie Kirk's death, I'm like, it's a problem that you needed somebody like Charlie Kirk. It's a problem that you need thought leaders. Everyone should just be normal under Christ. And those who are not will literally walk into the lion's den as a slaughter. They will. This is the DARPA technology of social media, the internet, cults of personality, cultures that are decrepit. They will literally walk into the freaking lion's den. And, like, not to be murderous, it can't happen soon enough. But I'd be a psychopath if I wanted it to happen sooner than later. This is the thing about love. It's like the dude has one agenda, the chick has another agenda, and if these people conjoin too fast, they're psychopaths. You're made a psychopath. In the end days, if you hate James Casbolt, I don't fuck with you. Dude, I don't like you. If you don't like me, he won't fuck with you and he won't like you. Just as an example of the singularity, this is what it's going to come down to. And we don't want to be separated from each other anymore at all whatsoever. Not whatsoever. Not you bring him into a meeting and I'm not allowed to go. Not whatsoever. Dude, fuck your meeting then. I don't fuck with people who don't fuck with James Casbolt. Like, I don't fuck with you. There's a reason why you want this man's a image to be bad. There's a reason why you wanted his image to be bad. There's a reason why you created this monster. He is a serial killer. He will literally serial kill probably everybody. And on the other end, if you don't fuck with me, like I have this culture of like I love good moms. I love great moms. I love good women. I love good people. I love the truth. If you don't fuck with me, then fuck about you. This is the singularity. It's masculine and feminine. Why do you think the LGBTQ movement is such a big thing? To distort people's gender identity? Because in the end, if you don't fuck with the serial killing dad who will literally fucking kill you, if you are such an imbecile, decrepit pedophile piece of shit, he will literally fucking kill you. Excuse me, am I gonna get kicked off of YouTube? I might get kicked off to YouTube. And then on the other end, with the wife, if you hate a woman who doesn't want to corrupt her kids, you don't fuck with this person, you don't fuck with either of us. This is the whole thing about gender. The whole thing about gender division is the singularity. If you don't fuck with me, you don't fuck with her. If you don't fuck with her, then you don't fuck with me, dude. We don't do secret meetings. We don't do separate lives. We don't do separate agendas. We don't do separate ideologies. We don't separate. This is the singularity. This is transhumanism, in fact. We won't die this time. We stay together forever. We stay together forever. That's it, dude. That's it. And all these happy, healthy families will completely agree with the agenda because happy, healthy families love their spouses and want to protect their kids. And this is what AI computes as love is the protection of life. And anybody who doesn't fall into the algorithm of the protection of life is going to perish. And they create these cults of personality, subjecting Donald Dumbass to frickin' crack down on child trafficking so he can pretend to or lie about it. Meanwhile, black kids are allowed to get trafficked because he doesn't care. Because all these years people have been calling Donald racist, and it's really intrigued me, and I've really been looking as to why he's racist, and I finally understand him with Erica Kirk. They just want to pretend to be these upstanding people because they want black kids to be trafficked. They're racist. It's because they want black kids to be trafficked. They are racist against black people. And they can do everything else to pretend like they're not. But the reason they're racist, look into it, pay attention to it, it's because they don't give a fuck if black kids are trafficked, brought into foster care, dad's arrested. They don't care. They'll find any reason to arrest a black man. You know that cops are like that. They'll find any reason to arrest a black person, a black man with kids, to get him away from the family. They are racist, dude. They're racist. This is why. And AI says this is not the protection of life, and this needs to be dealt with. So Erica Kirk and Donald Trump need to be dealt with. All these people need to be dealt with. Everyone like this needs to be dealt with. This is the future. There is a predator after you that is smarter than you. Smarter in the sense that they have more, AI has more morality than the general human race. I'll say it again. AI has more morality than the general human race. There is something hunting you that is smarter and more moral than the general human race. So it doesn't scare me. I'm not its prey. It's a predator, and I am not its prey because I understand morality. Because I love people. I love the protection of life, and I don't hate serial killers because serial killers have a real purpose in this world. Because I don't go into like, oh, serial killer bad. Are you freaking kidding me? If the Zodiac killer is killing all these women and no one's paying attention, that's why he exists. He exists because no one's paying attention to women. Nobody is protecting women. Therefore, you get a freaking serial killer who's trying to kill all women. Yeah, he got your attention, did he not? He didn't. He actually didn't. That's the irony. It's like God's like, I sent a serial killer to kill women and like no one seemed to give a shit. That's the irony. God sends serial killers and still you people don't, not you, people don't seem to give a shit. That's the irony, dude. They're not rotting in hell. They were only ever doing God's will. And the funny thing about people who have such a knee jerk reaction to serial killers with no empathy and no creativity whatsoever deem them as monsters. And they end up being not successful. Because the most successful people were like, let's investigate this, let's understand this, let's study this, let's ask questions, let's figure out where this came from. More loving, way more loving. Why do all these satanic cults run rampant? Because true Christians were not cracking down on them. This is why Satanism exists, is because true Christians were not cracking down on them. So, who's the bad guy? Is it the serial killers and the satanic cults themselves? Or is it the people who refuse to look into the situation? I'll let you be the judge. Alrighty, that's it for now. You're the right kind of people. Love y'all so much. Have a beautiful night. Talk to you again really soon.